So if you're thinking of moving to Arlington, Virginia, and your budget falls between $850,000 to $1 million, you want to see what you can get in that price range. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do in this video and show you 4 different homes in the $850,000 to $1 million price range in the 22204 zip code of Arlington. We'll take you through some neighborhoods so you can see what falls in line with your budget. You're definitely going to want to stick around because we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in Arlington, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market in Arlington, Virginia. Hi, my name is Casey O'Neill with Compass. We routinely get calls and emails from people just like you who are looking for help with making their move to Arlington, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All of the information is in the description below so we can help you make a smooth move to Arlington, Virginia. We're here in the 22204 zip code in Arlington County at Ruthie's All Day Restaurant. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. The menu has some great selections, and they also serve numerous types of cocktails, wine, and beer. I personally like the skillet cornbread, crispy smoked wings, and the fried chicken sandwich. Ruthie's is located on Glebe Road, 2 blocks south of Route 50 and 5 blocks north of Columbia Pike. We're in the Arlington Heights community. Right across the street is Alcova Heights. That's Dominion Apartments. And across the street is the fire station in 22204. And let me just take you a walk around Ruthie's. Ruthie's all day. It's a great sign. The weather's starting to get nice, and they have an outdoor eating space. So this place fills up pretty quickly. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, serving the South Arlington community. It's definitely a needed establishment. So if you've lived around Arlington before, you know Glebe Road is a busy cut-through thoroughfare. It's a 4-lane highway connecting Route 50, Interstate 395, and even Interstate 66. The gray buildings are called Stratton House condos. They were built in the 60s, and there's 2 buildings. They're a mid-rise condominium, and we've got the Dominion Apartments in the back. So you're in for a treat. We'll be taking you around to see 4 different homes in the $850,000 to $1 million price range in 22204. If that's in your zone, or you're just curious, this is going to be a great video for you. Stay with me, and we're going to go check out the first property. This particular property is listed for $875,000. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,464 square feet above grade, and then there's about 700 square feet in the basement. The basement is unfinished, but can be finished. The lot is amazing. It's 10,942 square feet, which is a 1/4 acre. So Alcova Heights has a median average price right now of about $972,000. So this is a pretty good value. It's actually one of my listings, so let's take a little tour of the yard. It's got a brick paver driveway and an amazing landscape front yard. With a brick walkway to a spectacular front porch. The front porch was custom built, and you've got the this wood ceiling. It's just pretty amazing. Let's step up here real quick. I'll take you. springtime. Flowers are starting to pop. The house was built in 1940. All brick construction, with the exception of the addition, which has hardy plank siding. This is a little sunroom, family room addition, and there's a private patio. And you have a fish pond with some koi. So you've got a little dormer arrangement up top, and this beautiful bright room with a lot of windows. And you can see the yard goes back fairly deep. Parts of this neighborhood do have some deep lots. The average lot is about 6,000 square feet, but this 10,000 square foot lot is a real bonus. That's a stone barbecue in the background with a wood pile and a tarp. It's just a fantastic yard, fully fenced, very flat and level. Alcova has an amazing diversity of home styles, and it has a lot of additions and tear downs, which you find throughout the county. You can see what the neighboring house did with their property. By the time this video is published, this home will have been closed. So I can give you the price. Like I said, we'll be going to settlement in a couple of weeks before this video is probably published. So this home's currently under contract for $963,000. This is a real quiet street. Very little thoroughfare traffic. The home across the street is a small Cape Cod, similar to the subject. And here's one where they raised the roof, created a lot more space. Quite a popular thing to do. This is more of a traditional Cape Cod with the dormer window. Another original size house. So we have another Cape Cod turned sideways on the lot, and then next door a colorful Colonial painted green. There's another. This is a split level home here, which is a different floor plan than most. Another Colonial. That one has a tin roof and a covered front porch. And then across the street, another traditional Cape Cod. This home was not quite a tear down. The builder kept a little bit of the original house, but built up around it. And then we have a couple more Cape Cods. I'll take you for a driving tour, and we can also look at one of the historic homes in this community. Stay tuned. Right in back of me is the historic Alcova house, built in the mid-1800s. Alcova Heights was given its name by J. Lloyd Byers, a former Virginia state senator who bought 142 acres of land from the Columbia Land Company and sold the lots for about 5 cents per square foot. The name Alcova was Arlington County in 1920. Prior to was part of Alexandria City. So this neighborhood is rich in history, and as you saw on our 6th Street tour, we have just a lot of different styles of homes. But the Alcova house is A beautiful monument. And someone does live there, by the way. We'll take a tour and look at a few houses on the block here. We're on 8th Street now. Things are starting to bud with the spring weather. That's sort of a Cape Cod modified, a little bit of a Tudor style. And there's another variation of a Cape with no dormers. Same with across the street. And then we have a new build right next door, which you do see a lot of. This is a very popular style of home called a bungalow. And it's got a Cape Cod theme going on. You've got a beautiful front porch. Bungalows are known for their front porches. It's a really small house in the background. Now this home was built after the neighborhood, probably from a subdivision of one of the lots. It's a colonial, probably 50s or 60s vintage. Another Cape there. And then an expanded bungalow on the corner. And here's a Cape Cod with a stone little foyer area. It's turned sideways on the lot. You can see the dormers on the side there. So I like what they did on this home. They expanded it. Did a pretty extensive addition, but it's kind of hidden by the bushes and trees. One thing you see a lot of in Arlington are these traffic circles, basically to try and calm the flow of the traffic through the neighborhoods. It's a 1990s vintage colonial that was built. There's a couple of new builds. One of them is probably 2016 vintage, right there. And then next door to it, this home is about 1 year old. It's a recently constructed new build. Here's a beautiful home. It's probably original. It was added onto, sits back on the lot. Great lot on that one. That's another probably 60s colonial, so you have a mixture of homes from the 1920s, 1921 when the neighborhood was developed, and then 30s and 40s, some 50s, and then into the 60s and beyond. There were probably a few homes constructed on subdivided lots. And then a lot of people started really adding on in the 1990s, 2000s. And then the teardowns came along maybe 15 or 20 years ago. Here's another home. This used to be a rambler. And they raised the roof and expanded it. So that's a little sample of Alcova Heights. We'll move on to the next neighborhood. See you then. This home is on the market for $969,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This was built in 1880, so it's one of the historic homes in this community, and there's a few of them. The lot is 6,600 square feet, and the square footage above grade is 2,130. There's a cellar that's unfinished, so it's not a finished basement. It's more of an old cellar, unfinished. It's got a cute front porch, nice yellow paint job, and there's a driveway that'll park a few cars. We've got a deck and a patio. And the yard is nice and level. The storage building back there. It's just partially fenced. Some rear stairs in the back of the house. And your side entrance. Over here are the doors to the cellar. You can't get to the cellar from the main part of the house inside. There's just an external entrance as well. Cute brick walkway all the way around to the side. So this is a very special home. Like I said, this neighborhood is full of old and new. There's a couple of new builds here that are about 2-3 years old. And then we have this is another replica of an older home, although this was built maybe 30 years ago. These homes built side by side. It was probably one home that probably occupied a big lot, and they took that down and built 2 new ones. And we have a couple of these Rambler style homes and a Cape Cod with a cute front porch. So that's just a small sample of what you find in this neighborhood. We'll do some more touring and we'll meet you at the next house. We're in the Glen Carlin neighborhood at Carlin Hall. It's located on a 1/4 acre, features a meeting room, picnic tables, playground, and restroom. It's a charming antique structure that's functioned as a social center, church, school, public library, and now a county-run preschool. Many community meetings are held along with other neighborhood events. The Glen Carlin Civic Association started in 1952, and this hall circa 1892. So Glen Carlin is rich in history. It's got the oldest house in Arlington, the Ball Cellar House, that we'll get to look at. Here's a little peek at the playground and picnic tables. There's a little shady spot over here in the corner. Next door is the Ball Carlin Cemetery, and on the corner adjacent to the cemetery and park is the Glen Carlin Public Library. So leaving Carlin Hall, show you a couple homes. The classic Cape Cod style home is quite prevalent in this neighborhood. We're going to go over to the Ball Cellars house, which is the oldest home in Arlington County. It's an older Victorian style home. And here's a beautiful colonial, New England style. There's the Arlington County Glen Carlin Branch Library, a neighborhood fixture. The Glen Carlin Civic Association started in 1952, and they sponsor Glen Carlin Days, the first weekend in June, which involves potluck dinner, street dance Friday, a pancake breakfast parade, often a house tour, and then games and picnic in the park on Saturday. Here's a beautiful old Victorian on the corner here. There's quite a handful of homes like this throughout this community. And then there's a little 1950s Rambler. This home is listed for $895, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It was built in 1951. The lot is 6,366, and there's 2,176 square feet of living area on 3 levels. So this is a typical brick colonial you'll find in Arlington. And as you can see, the neighbors are primarily Colonials and Rambler style homes. We're 1 block from Route 50. You can hear a little bit of noise. This home has a pretty flat yard, fully fenced in the back, with a deck. And there is a side addition that was a porch, but now it's enclosed and conditioned space. A lot of people do that with these porches. I'll show you a home that has the original porch, and some people still maintain the porches. And then next door there's a Rambler style home. So that's typically what we have in this section of the neighborhood, Colonials and Ramblers. At the end of this street is Kenmore Middle School, which feeds this neighborhood and a lot of neighborhoods in 22204. So we'll take a little drive around the neighborhood, and I'll see you at the next house. This home is on the market for $991. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. This was built in 1963. And the lot size is a little over 8,000 square feet. And it's got about almost 2,500 square feet on 3 levels. And this home has a carport. Some homes have garages. It's pretty quiet back here. And one of the cool things about this house is that you're adjoining on parkland. The Glen Carlin Park is right next door. So there's a patio with a trellis. The yard does have some slope to it. Kind of a moderate slope. And right in back of me is the park. So it's quite serene back here. Built in 1963, this cul-de-sac is a little bit newer than a lot of the neighborhood. And you have predominantly Colonials with a couple of split level style homes. So next door is a Colonial, and there we have a split level and another split level. The splits come in different varieties. Some have 3 levels, some have 4. There are even some 5 levels. I believe on this block you have a 4-level split configuration. Like I said, the park is just steps away, the formal entrance to the park. You can get to the park from the backyard of this home. Now these 2 homes are bi-levels. Basically it's like a Rambler style home where you enter on the lower level and you go upstairs. You have the kitchen and bathrooms and bedrooms upstairs, and the lot slopes up slightly for this type of home. It's real quiet back here except for the trash truck. A couple more Colonials on the entrance to the cul-de-sac. So we're here on 5th Street, and right at the end, that is one of the entrances to Glen Carlin Park. So there's several entrances from this neighborhood into this fantastic park with playgrounds, nature center, dog park, picnic areas, and a connection to the Washington and Old Dominion bike trail. As you can see, we've got a few different home styles. Here's a Colonial that was built in the 90s, sitting sideways on the lot. And here's a home that was expanded from its original footprint. Same with this home. What we can do is take you for a tour of the neighborhood, driving, and that's about it for our tour today. So whether you're buying in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or visit our site and we can have a Zoom call. Take care, and we'll see you around town.